The orbital station's module for W was where careers went to die. A forgotten corner of the Galactic Defense Initiative's sprawling military complex, it housed obsolete equipment, outdated simulators, and personnel the brass had long stopped caring about. Among the dust-covered consoles and flickering holoscreens, Kevin worked his maintenance shift in silence. He wore no medals. No rank insignia adorned his faded jumpsuit. The other species' proud Valorians with their crystalline exoskeletons, sleek Arxian navigators, hulking Gorth engineers barely acknowledged his existence. To them, he was just another human, and humans were unremarkable, soft, weak. They'd only been inducted into the GDI 15 years ago. An afterthought in a galaxy of superior races, Kevin didn't mind the obscurity. He preferred it. "Excuse me," a voice cut through his thoughts. Kevin looked up from the power coupling he'd been repairing to find a young woman standing before him. Human, her flight suit was crisp, new, adorned with the silver bars of a newly commissioned pilot. "I'm looking for Simulator Bay 7, they told me it was in this module." Kevin studied her for a moment. She couldn't have been more than 25, with determined brown eyes and dark hair pulled back in a regulation bun. The eagerness in her stance reminded him of someone he used to be, Mia Chen. He asked, reading the name patch on her suit. She blinked in surprise. "Yes. How did you? Saw your file come through maintenance requests yesterday. Top of your class at the academy. Scored perfect marks in atmospheric combat." He gestured down the corridor with a grease-stained hand. "Bay 7's down that hall, third door on the left. Fair warning though, the equipment's ancient. Don't expect the response times you're used to." Mia's expression shifted from surprise to something resembling pity. Another washed-up maintenance worker who'd probably never seen real combat, she thought. "Thank you," she said politely, then headed in the direction he'd indicated. Kevin returned to his work. 3 weeks later, Mia had established herself among the elite pilots stationed at the orbital complex. She'd proven her skills in simulation after simulation, earning respect even from the notoriously dismissive Valorian squadron commanders. But something bothered her about Module for W. She'd returned several times to use the old simulators they had erroneous, an unpredictability that the newer models lacked. And each time, she'd seen Kevin, quietly maintaining the equipment, fixing what broke, never complaining. "Who is he?" she asked Lieutenant Dravix, a Valorian with whom she'd developed a working friendship. "The human maintenance worker." Dravix's translator rendered his clicking mandibles into flat, disinterested tones. "Nobody. Module for West is where they send those who've outlived their usefulness." He knew my academy scores without looking them up. Perhaps he has a good memory for trivia, but Mia's curiosity had been piqued. She began researching, digging through personnel files during her off hours. Kevin's official record was frustratingly sparse. 15 years of service, all in maintenance, no combat deployments, no commendations, nothing. To sparse, the emergency klaxon shattered the station's routine on a Tuesday cycle. All pilots to ready stations. Hostile contacts inbound. This is not a drill. The Arxian Hive had launched a surprise assault, 3 capital ships and a swarm of fighters, materializing from quantum jump to close for the station's heavy weapons to track effectively. Mia sprinted to the hangar bay alongside dozens of other pilots, her heart hammering against her ribs. Launch sequence initiated. Squadrons Alpha through Delta. Deploy immediately. The battle was chaos. The Arxian fighters moved with their characteristic hive coordination, flowing like schools of predatory fish through the black. Mia fired, dodged, rolled, her training guiding her through maneuvers she'd practiced 1,000 times. But simulations hadn't prepared her for the real thing, the G-forces that blurred her vision, the certainty of death if she made even one mistake. "Squadron Charlie is down." Repeat, "Charlie is down. Delta leader hit." Delta leader. The command channel dissolved into screaming static and desperate calls for reinforcement. The Arxian swarm was overwhelming them through sheer numbers. Mia watched her tactical display as friendly icons winked out one by one. Then a new signal appeared, a single fighter, launching from module for W's auxiliary bay, a bay Mia hadn't even known was operational. The signature was old, a Mark 7 Raptor that predated even the ancient simulators she'd been using. Unidentified craft. Identify yourself. The station commander's voice crackled over the open channel. The response came in a voice Mia recognized instantly. Calm, measured, professional. Ghost 7 actual, requesting permission to engage. The command channel went silent. Completely, utterly silent. Then, Ghost 7, confirm identification. Confirmed, Codename, Ghost 7 actual? Service number Hotel Uniform 7732. Requesting permission to engage hostiles. Mia's hands trembled on her controls. She pulled up the historical combat database, searching for that codename. What she found made her blood run cold. Ghost 7 actual, the ghost of Terra, humanity's first ace in the Arcturus War, credited with 47 confirmed capital ship kills. The pilot who'd held the Arcturus gate alone for 6 hours against an entire Kriegs battle fleet, buying time for the evacuation of New Geneva. The legend who'd simply vanished after the war ended. The pilot everyone assumed was dead. Permission granted. Ghost 7. The commander whispered. The sky is yours. What happened next would be analyzed in tactical academies for generations. Kevin's ancient fighter moved like it was alive. No, like it was an extension of his will. He didn't fly through the Arxian swarm. He flowed through it, a scalpel cutting through tissue. Every shot found its mark. Every maneuver was economical, perfect, wasting neither energy nor ammunition. Mia watched in awe as he dismantled the enemy formation. He'd target a fighter, destroy it, and the debris would tumble into the path of 2 others. He'd fire at a specific angle, and the ricochet would disable a 3rd target. It wasn't just skill, it was art. Mathematics made manifest in violence. All squadrons, form on Ghost 7, the commander ordered. Follow his lead. They did, with Kevin guiding them, coordinating their strikes with terse, precise commands. The tide turned. The Arxian hive mind couldn't adapt fast enough to his unpredictability. Within 20 minutes, the enemy was in full retreat, limping back toward their jump coordinates with half their number destroyed. Kevin's Raptor glided back to module for West without fanfare, touching down in the auxiliary bay as if he'd merely been out for a maintenance flight. Mia found him an hour later, back in his maintenance bay, still in his flight suit, methodically cleaning his equipment. Why? She asked. Why let everyone think you were nobody? Kevin didn't look up from his work. Because I was tired? Mia. Tired of the fighting. Tired of being a weapon. He paused, finally meeting her eyes. After Arcturus. After everything. I just wanted to be useful without being used. To help people without being their sword. But you just saved us all. I saved you. He corrected gently. And I'd do it again. But I'm done being Ghost 7. That person. Those wars. They're in the past. He returned to his cleaning. Kevin the maintenance worker suits me just fine. Mia stood there for a long moment, processing. Finally, she nodded. Your secret's safe with me. But, she hesitated. Would you teach me, the old simulators, the techniques you know? For the first time, Kevin smiled. Yeah, I think I'd like that. As Mia left module for W, she glanced back to see Kevin returning to his work, anonymous and unremarkable. But now she knew the truth that the galaxy had forgotten. Humanity's greatest warrior hadn't died in glorious combat. He'd simply chosen peace. And somehow, that made him even more terrifying.